Hello, I am Caede, your guide. Today, we are in Hiroshima. I'm sure you've all heard about Hiroshima in history class or documentaries, right? This is not simply a place to go, see, and enjoy like other tourist destinations in Japan. But I will guide you at this very important place in the history of Japan and the world. At 8:15 a.m. on August 6, 1945, the U.S. military dropped the world's first atomic bomb on Hiroshima that was bustling with people going about their morning. At the time, about 350,000 people lived in Hiroshima City, and it is estimated that about 140,000 people died by December, 4 months after the acute danger from radiation is considered to have subsided. 80,000 of these 140,000 people are said to have died on the day the bomb was dropped. Actually, we don't know the exact number of people who died even today because all their documents such as residence registration cards were burned. It is estimated that 50% of residents who lived in a radius of around 1.2 kilometers from the hypocenter died that day, and 80 to 100% of those who lived closer than that didn't survive. Since most buildings in Japan at that time were wooden structures, they also disappeared in an instant without leaving any trace. However, the atomic bomb dome that stands in front of you, even though it was very close to the hypocenter, it miraculously escaped the total destruction and still conveys the horror of the atomic bombing to us today. The building now known as the Atomic Bomb Dome was constructed in 1915 by Czech architect Jan Letzel as the Hiroshima Prefecture Product Exhibition Hall. It was used as offices for the government and other public offices from 1944, near the end of the war. The atomic bomb exploded at an altitude of 600 meters, 160 meters southeast of the building, and the heat rays and the blast wrecked the building, killing everyone inside instantly. The A-bomb dome was partially constructed of reinforced concrete brick with a courtyard in the center of the building and a vaulted ceiling. It is believed that the building was spared from total destruction because of the large number of windows that allowed the blast to blow out through the windows. The ruins of this building stood out in the city of Hiroshima, which had been burned to the ground by the atomic bomb, and soon after the war, citizens began calling the ruin the Atomic Bomb Dome. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park was then completed in 1955, designed by Kenzo Tange, to prominently display the A-bomb dome as a central symbol of the park. It is said that there were numerous survivors who wanted the A-bomb dome to be dismantled because the sight of it brought back nightmares of the atomic bombing. However, a sentence written in a diary of a girl moved other survivors towards preservation activities. Hiroko Kajiyama, who was exposed to the fallout of the atomic bomb at the age of 1, and died of leukemia when she was 16, left the words. Only the Hiroshima Industrial Promotion Hall will forever convey to future generations the horror of the atomic bombing. In order to convey to the future generations the horrors of war, and especially of the atomic bomb, it was decided by the Hiroshima City Council in 1966 to permanently preserve the ruins, and it is now on UNESCO's World Heritage List. But at a meeting of the World Heritage Committee at the time, the United States strongly opposed the restoration of the A-bomb dome, forcing the deletion of the phrase, the first nuclear weapon used in the world, from the investigation report. And China abstained from deliberation, saying that it might be used by people who deny Japan's role in the war. There was a lot of discussion before the site was inscribed on the World Heritage List. In order to ensure the long-lasting preservation of the monument for future generations, a survey is now conducted every 3 years to determine whether the monument is in danger of collapsing or not. In front of the A-bomb dome, there are photos of the area before and immediately after the bomb was dropped. So please take a look. You can really feel the power of the atomic bomb. Why was Hiroshima the first place in the world where an atomic bomb was used? On December 8, 1941, Japanese forces attacked the U.S. military base in Hawaii, plunging Japan into an all-out war with the Allied forces, including Britain and the United States. This was the attack on Pearl Harbor. The U.S. military had begun building atomic bombs in 1942 and decided to use them against Japan. At the time, the U.S. wanted to force Japan to surrender quickly and minimize U.S. military casualties. It also had the ambition to drop an atomic bomb on Japan before the former Soviet Union's forces advanced on Japan, thereby gaining world superiority after the war. For the first use of that world-first atomic bomb on mankind, they needed a place where its power could be maximized. So they selected cities that fulfill the following conditions. First, the city had to have an urban area with a diameter of at least 4.8 kilometers and be surrounded by mountains. Second, the site must be in a location where the effects of the blast can be accurately determined. Third, military facilities and factories are concentrated in an area. Fourth, the site has not been damaged by air raids in the past. After these points were taken into consideration, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Kokura, and Niigata were selected. As a matter of fact, Kyoto and Yokohama were also in the list of the sites to be bombed. The atomic bomb was then dropped at 8:15 a.m. on August 6, targeting the T-shaped Aioi Bridge located right next to the A-bomb dome. The bomb ended up exploding 160 meters away, 600 meters above Shima Hospital that still stands today, and took many lives in an instant. It is said that Hiroshima was ultimately chosen because the sky over the city was clear on this summer morning, making it easier to see the target. Those who manage to survive are called hibakusha in Japanese, but they suffered from various after effects from exposure to large amount of radiation. Hibakusha who meet certain requirements were given a hibakusha health certificate by the government, and the government pays their medical expenses. Please take your time to look at the A-bomb dome. I will be waiting for you on the other side of the river.